afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dame. We're off here to a Monday novice fight here on Langlaskaya, a Monday novice fight in the southern corner. We shall be watching Vylent Erus fighting here for the Wehrmacht. So, not for the Wehrmacht, well, technically all the German forces were the Wehrmacht, but the Oberkommando West for Germany, for the Reich, for the 116th Panzer Division here. Going up against them shall be UnOwn, fighting here for the United States of America for the 90th Infantry Division. We're noting here, by the way, armor, infantry, and airborne for Owen. The box standard there, whereas Vylent has Luftwaffe, special operations, and elite armored. Bit of a rare one to see, and even rarer to see actually used. Two Volkswagens there so far on the way for Vylent. Over to Owen. Swinging pretty hard there towards the right hand side, leaving this open for a quick rush, but that's not likely to happen. Securing territory towards the west. Truck holding about there doing nothing. Volksgrenadiere arriving. Unit carrying points. Normally I wouldn't sort of, recommend though placing such heavy emphasis initially on the right. Usually I'd also suggest sending someone over here, maybe a bit here. But so far Owen is very heavily focused on the east part of the map. He's also losing cut-off very vulnerable, and that's usually something I'd recommend against. I mean, generally when you're playing North Langoskaya, this point is something you should always sort of generally try to keep a watch on, because your opponent will try to cut it off, will try to then hold it. So it's generally something at least one sort of unit sort of here, at least as a screen, thus giving you an early alert in case it happens. More riflemen here on the way though for Owen. No further units so far here for Vylent. Riflemen not closing in here. I mean, they had a chance as the Fox was moving away there to sort of go down here and get closer to the Volksgrenadier. Now looks like he's closing up a larger force here. Fox attack from the other side. Bit of a clumsy advance there by Owen. We got a Kubelwagen now ramming here for Vylent. Kubelwagen opening fire there on the riflemen, a bit exposed so they might quickly get suppressed, and there we go. Fonso taking heavy loss here. Vylent needs to be careful. 4-6. Now the rifleman needs to consider getting away. Rifleman needs to remain. No, they go straight there for the Kubelwagen. Trying to get beyond the arc of fire, not quite succeeding. More riflemen running to the scene here. Squad needs to get away, get away. Low on health, low on numbers, same here. This is the point where you basically go, my unit's in a poor condition, there's nothing going to be changed to sort of help it, I need to retreat. I mean, that's what good unit preservation is about, realizing the situation is lost and pulling back your men without wasting more manpower or time. And right here, UnOwn's unit preservation does seem to be spit on the not so grand side. That's definitely a point that sort of needs some improvement. Mines going up here a bit aggressively. Ravni getting suppressed by the Kubelwagen. Vylent keeping it at a good distance and keeping the Yankees' heads down in the process. Usual rifleman here, forces reinforcing there. Rifleman getting suppressed. Volkswagen's attacking here, using the Kubelwagen for cover. Good. Again, this is the sort of situation where Owen might want to consider just pulling back. He does seem a bit the stubborn type, which can occasionally actually be good, but sometimes it can also bring into trouble if you're sort of wasting a lot of time. For example here, crawling all the way in, and they're basically taking the heavy loss. Now his unit, for example, is down to 2 men. That is just basically a lot of waste of manpower. Here we see another assault here, not quite paying attention there. I mean, a nice spread in a sense, but he's too focused on the Volkswagen and then sort of ignore the Sturmpikes. Now his men again need to retreat, low on health, quickly low on numbers, and right here though, it would seem, there we go, too slow to retreat here. Again, Owen needs to be sort of a bit more careful. His unit preservation is definitely something that has a lot of gaps in it and has very much a lot of room for improvement here. Second Sturmpike unit, by the way, arriving here, so 2 Volksgrenadiers, 2 Sturmpioneers, and a Kubelwagen, also noting here a mechanized regiment headquarters going up. Sandbags going up in the middle of the road, providing him with cover where there's otherwise none, in particular green cover. That's not a bad idea at all. Not a bad idea. At the same time, that, you know, when he gets brighter at the incident, you know, those re-echelon troops, they might not be able to do much in combat. We also realise most of the forces here are in the centre of the map, so I shift my re-echelon troops to do some harassment on the left flank. That's some sharp thinking there from UnOwn. That's a good move. I mean, usually, stuff like this, you know, can't always do much in combat, but then again, you can always use them for harassment and drawing away actual combat troops from the field of battle. So that's, for example, what happened right here with the rear echelon troops. Well done there, well done there. Volksgun is in a bit of trouble pulling back. Vylent taking it casually. UnOwn advancing slowly but surely, spread out there, trying to sort of minimise the amount of suppressive fighting going towards his men. Charging cross on ground here, needs to be careful though. He's moving towards the Pioneers, and he's out in the open. That's a bit dangerous. That is a bit dangerous. Troops getting suppressed, getting mowed down. Bit of Kugelwagening there. We got a Puma out here for Vylent. Vylent clearly taking no chance of maybe encountering a quick M20, so he's got a quick Puma out. He's also trading munition for fuel. Again, another assault seems to sort of not really worked out here. I'm guessing infantry chosen here for Owen. An interesting decision all of a sudden. And he's getting a mortar half-track of all things. I mean, considering what he's facing, in particular considering his opponent just got a Puma on the field, I'm not entirely sure I'd recommend getting a mortar half-track, to be honest. I mean, that's not exactly going to do a lot there versus the Puma or the Kugelwagen. I mean, the white phosphorus could do a bit there versus the infantry, so knows the regular barrages, but beyond that, there's not exactly a lot there.
A capture point is being overrun.
Ambulance on the way as well. So the question is, what will he actually do to sort of deal with the enemy vehicles, because those are definitely going to be a massive problem for him. Going there for the cut-off point, very much what would happen eventually. Interestingly enough, though, Vylent does not move up his line, for example, he does not advance the Kugelwagen to cover the steel ponies, does not move up the Puma to support them. So in that regard, this is a bit of an odd decision in turn here from Vylent.
Light MGs now on the line.
Good job there with the mine, good job.
Awaiting orders. Ambulance taking
breaking up Owen's counter-attack there. Ambulance arriving, and certainly a mechanized regiment headquarters is a good combo to have there with the Kugelwagen. It ensures you can just pull it back without having to sort of waste two Pioneers repairing it. But again, we do note here that Vylent seems to be a bit awfully passive in some regards. Here he goes, Lieutenant moving up there with the Steel Pioneers. Steel Pioneers quickly washed off the field. Mortar fire going down. So far, not really hitting anything. I mean, that's a bit the prop mortar for getting the mortar half-track. You generally need a lot of density of your opponent to have a chance. I mean, it's currently not the best, and it's certainly a problem. You could do with a minor buff, if anything. I mean, it's not fully bad, but generally you need to sort of quickly get some veterans if you sort of really get anywhere with it. White phosphorus can be useful for sort of dealing with a dug-in opponent, doing a bit of damage, and also applying a bit of, you know, visual blocking there. You also got a MNF out here from Vylent. And there you go, Puma moving in, trying to get the mortar half-track. Actually missed the first shot, it seems. Second, though, connects. Ach, scheiße, Jürgen, you couldn't hit that mortar half-track. That's embarrassing. But they're going to tank rifle it, damaging his Puma. And there you go, we actually got bazookas up here. He's popping both into the building, not so wise here, but he should actually shift them onwards. The Puma must pull back behind the other building. He should be shifting the units forwards. Move, move. Instead, he's doing nothing. Come on, Owen, get moving. Get the bazooka men also moving. Get them moving. You know where it is. Get into the building. Come on. Get the bazookas out. Schnell. I mean, quickly. Also, a bit of an odd decision here, by the way, by Owen. He equipped the re-echelon troops with the Browning light machine gun, not the rifleman, and the rifleman actually got the bazooka. I mean, I'm not saying you could do it like that, but generally, I mean, you get... Ooh, nice use there of the white phosphorus, actually, breaking up the enemy assault. If you could shoot the steel ponies, you could wipe them out, but that's not to be the case. You could get the Echidna maybe. Steel Bunny is actually charging through the White Phosphorus. Now that's a bad idea right there by Vylent. That's a very bad idea. You don't want to be charging through White Phosphorus. It's nasty stuff for a reason. Mortar Attack actually doing a bit of damage though. Also an odd thing here, the White Phosphorus barrage doesn't actually give any experience compared to the Mortar Attack's Incendiary barrage. So, little fun fact there. But either way, that was not really well done there by Owen. He should have moved those bazooka men further up, sort of knock out that Puma. Instead, it got away. So right there, a tactical fumble. And again, another one in its essence. I mean, I'd recommended these getting the bazookas, these getting that machine guns. I mean, generally these men, they'd have more benefit from the rifle, of course, would then be able to use defensive stance. Amongst other things, which also help them suppress. Whereas either, of course, can just sort of quickly veterans up, get more durable and other fun things. Now we see a munitions cache. I mean, could help towards more bazookas and upgrades, so not necessarily a bad idea, though a bit surprising to see. Schwere Panzer quality up for Vylent. Taking up for Captain, so there'll be more bazookas soon here for Owen. Trying to get the Kugelwagen. John and Johnny miss quite heavily. Coming over here to Vylent, though. Now with the Schwere Panzer headquarters. And there we go, Captain Jones moves on to the field with his handy command team and a pair of bazookas.
This is it. Puma, ready. Puma, prepare for order. Assembled and ready.
Few there being retaken. Looks like Owen has been doing well there and actually harassing it. Good, 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 good. Looks like someone got a tree lodged into the mortar half track. You might want to move the bazooka further up to sort of cover things more properly rather than here where the enemy can actually shoot at the Puma without necessarily having to deal, or the half track without having to deal with the Captain and the bazookas. So just a suggestion there. Fighting position now going up to Owen. An interesting idea there. Looks like he's popping these gentlemen in with a brown up machine, of course, also the rifle can find. It's an interesting idea, that's for sure. A bad one. There you go, Puma coming in to fire there. Captain under fire there. Steel Players moving forward. So now to support the Captain, he should consider that. More rifle there moving out. The ones with the bazookas as well. Got fighting position getting provided by like Hiddenwerfer. Not too unexpected. Ooh, nice hit there from the mortar attack on the Puma Schwere Panzer Spielwagen. Got the rear troops coming around with the Browning light machine gun. Captain pulls back there again. Not really as effective position there for UnOwn. His defences are not necessarily that well centred. We also got anti-tank mines up, but nope, they need to be clustered. Spread out, they're not really good. They need to be as close as possible before they can really do anything. So, I mean, that's important to note. Spread out like that. They're not even going to do as a speed bump. And now we know in here, a Lux is on the way here. We've also got Orbital Dart out. White Phosphorus going down here. Ensuring they can't shoot here. Also the Hiddenwerfer crew once more getting a very noxious dose there. Rifleman and Lieutenant need to go away. Again, Owen needs to be a bit careful. Rather than getting slaughtered there by the Orbital Dart's MG-34. The predecessors of the MG-42 was harder to produce, maintain, and in fact another bunch of things, plus it shot slow. Overall, the MG-42 was in many regards a superior design. It could also handle dirt better, I believe, actually. Which was apparently also an issue with the MG-34. In the end, more MG-34s were produced than the MG-42, though. And there you go, munitions cache knocked out. Hackhouse out here, interesting. Right, Lieutenant needs to go away again. Owen, a bit problematic then, keeping his unit preserved. And we got the Lux here moving forward. On the other hand, Vylent, he needs to be careful. I mean, he's pouring a lot of resources into light vehicles at the moment. Lux, Puma, Kugelwagen, a bunch of other things, but there's not really a whole lot that could, for example, handle a lot of armor all of a sudden arriving here from Owen. So there's a few dangers there from Vylent, the way he's sort of doing things at the moment. It's sort of a heavy early in a sense. At the same time, it's also a lot of vehicles that are vulnerable to bazookas. In that regard, there's a bit of a problem there as well for Vylent. In particular, since there's 4 bazookas here. And that can actually do a lot of damage to the current force composition that Vylent has, because now they're actually going to be able to strike off a shot from a bazooka. So that is actually rather important to keep in mind. Balance going in there. Something went kaboom somewhere. Pushing forwards again. Might want to get that Kugelwagen somehow. Luke's moving in. Needs to be careful, doesn't get too close. Okay, map there could be cleared out. Maybe not. Captain should be moving forwards. Forwards, Captain. Your men require you. There we go, flanking up, though there's an orbital down there coming the flank. That's actually going front, but at the same time, the Lux is actually heavily damaged. Nice shot there, actually, from the pack howitzer, and there you go, one shot, another, and there you go. Lux is still functional in a sense, but the crew is very much dead, and the engine is on fire. Puma is also in trouble, taking heavy damage there. Quick anti-tank rifle could maybe damage the engine and make it fairly easy to target there, but no. Looks like it will get away, looks like it will get away. Grenades there have been researched for Mr. Owen, but he's not really good at throwing them, it seems. He throws like a girl. No, probably not. The pack out is doing a lot here. Mortar half-track, not so much. And again, he does highlight some of the issues there with the mortar half-track. Ravner getting murdered down the opposite side, definitely doing quite well there. Rifle squad wiped out. In fact, the captain got wiped out, and his friends did as well. It's nicely done there, but again, you know, going for looks on top of all that. Oh! Recruited and then knocked out. Good shooting. Ready? So right here, Vylent is encountering some issues. Also, he's actually gone for elite armor. He has gone for elite armored. But so far, it can't really do much good. I mean, there's no real need, for example, at the moment for the heat rounds. Not really much for the emergency repairs either. Certainly not that. Not really for the Panzer Command. I mean, you could try setting up the Panzer IV battle group. That might work. That might work. Considering the current force composition, there might be a chance of it actually functioning. Here versus Owen, who's continuing out forwards here. Looks like, nope, so he didn't lose the captain, just parts of it, or was it the right driver? Never mind. Hard to tell sometimes. Everything that's going on here in a novice action. But again, as you might note here, the bazooka's actually doing a lot to sort of counter the vehicle part here of Vylent's force. And the overside is simply not enough to sort of keep all those riflemen away, in particular since he's sitting all the way over to the flank. Kubang there, veteran 2 taking a few damage as well from the rockets, apparently missing the Puma, but somehow hitting the Kubang instead. But reaction troops might want to support the captain. Just a thought there. Captain taking heavy losses. Nothing really happening. The howitzer could also be moving up further forward to support. And now we're seeing a Panther instead. So basically, he's so far gone lead armor and so far has used absolutely nothing on the doctrine. Even he has the chance of getting the Panzer IV battle group, and he's not getting it. One might argue there's a slight problem there. Troops here could do with a few reinforcements. Not really an effective way there to try to deal with the troops there with the bazookas. He needs to deal with the Puma. Leave the lieutenant to deal with the troops inside there. And there you go. Bazooka shooting in on the Puma. Kubag moving up. Panther almost done. Making decent use of the light car, but ultimately has to fall back soon enough. There you go, Panzerkampfwagen 5 mobilized here for the 116th Panzerdivision Windhund. The unit formed together out of a reserve Panzer Division and a shattered Panzergrenadier Division from the Eastern Front. Fought in, well, Normandy and later on in the Ardennes. amongst his officers were actually Guderian's son. So fun fact there. Time for the mid-game analysis though. Current situation here, somehow Owen is actually striking back his opponent. Again, the unit composition here for Vylent had a rather bazooka-shaped gap in it, and Owen was quick to sort of take advantage of it. Of course, now we are seeing the Panther up, but again, there's a sort of slight issue again, which is basically, why did he then go for lead armoured? I mean, you really don't get much out of it except the Panzer IV battle group. That's also essentially currently one of its bigger issues. There's just really much to it except the Panzer IV battle group half the bloody time. And, well, so far there's not really much to do with that now, is there? I mean, that's rather the thing. So he's basically just skipped ahead of that and just gone for the Panthers, and that there's not really much there to do. So in that regard, he's so far managed to basically waste the doctrine entirely, which is not really good. But besides that, I mean, he needs to consider getting more on that way pressuring, but he also needs to pressure things a bit better. He has a slight tendency of stopping up all of a sudden for no real reason, and then maybe later on moving ahead. He needs to sort of move things ahead properly and also support his vehicles properly. I mean, there are some slight issues there for Vylent, which is causing him a lot of losses, making things easier for him to basically throw him back and shoot him to pieces. And that's definitely a problem there for Vylent. But he might want to sort of try now saving up for the Panzer IV battle group. Then again, he might also not. I mean, at this point, it might as well end up being too late. But it's a thought nonetheless. For Owen, I mean, needs to work there unit preservation. I mean, again, that seems to be one of the bigger issues. The Mortar-Fletcher's not really doing much. He should consider taking out. Oh, he's already got that. So Jackson might then be a good move to sort of try and deal with the Panther. A quicker option, though, could be getting some anti-tank guns. That way, try and deal with the Panther using armor-piercing rounds. That could all to work out reasonably well. I mean, he can't just here rely on the bazookas, though certainly the bazookas can pressure his opponent a bit. You know, if you can flank the Panther, then a volley of bazookas from the captain and the rifleman could actually do a bit of harm there to the Panther and force it back somewhat. But anti-tank guns, Jackson's might then be a good option. You can then further maybe throw in a M8 Scott later on, sort of further bolster his defences. I mean, he might also want to consider upgrading the last unit of rifleman with some Browning light machine gun, sort of further pressure his opponent's infantry. I mean, the more he can pressure the remaining infantry that Vylent has, the better as well. Let's return to the fight.
They're wise to us.
Panther and Puma flanking up here. Nice hit there from the pack howitzer on this Kugelwagen. Panther flanking in. Anti-tank on the way. Captain there firing off some bazookas, also noting one of the anti-tank guns went off there by the looks of it, but again, no, they don't really do much unless they're sort of really clustered. I mean, I think a cluster can actually sort of mobilise the vehicle, but there you go, Captain caught in the middle of everything, getting slaughtered there by the Panther and the Orbital down in his light machine gun. Get the ambulance out of there, Owen! Get the ambulance out of there! Wow, the Panther missed. My God, Dieter, you can't even hit an ambulance. What kind of German are you? And there you go, UnOwn is apparently not paying attention. The Panther's basically just driven up there to the ambulance and, well, cooked it up. Brewed it up. And there goes actually using the heavy ballast ability. It's a very interesting ability, but I mean, it requires you to be very close, and it doesn't actually seem very effective. It's apparently best versus buildings, but beyond there's not really much reason for using it. So I mean, again, there are some problems currently with the mortar half-track and getting anything out of it. But I think that's more for a,
the enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
well, state of the balance video, which will also be going up more or less at the same time, by the way. Rather near fighting though, Panther doing what he can, still put his move back. Orbital here, full flank from western flank. Not looking good there. Pack Howard's doing a bit more damage. In fact, very close to veteran, to which point it's actually going to become an issue for the armour due to increasing damage and penetration. More bazookas going off there versus the Panther. Panther's side armour was in fact weak, even at its thickest. After some upgrades, it was only 50mm. Captain needs to go away. And there you go, veteran G2. Jackson is on the way here. Anti-tank gun should move up further and also then set on prioritised vehicles.
The enemy is
Still an upgrade here for these Ramen again. Browning light machine guns would do quite a bit for them. You should also consider the Browning light machine gun for the Lieutenant. A lot of people tend to neglect upgrading the Lieutenant as well, but he can also be upgraded, thus getting even further firepower on him. Rivner needs to get away. Come on, Owen. Come on. Unit preservation. Anti-tank rifle grenade, it seems. Damaging in the Panther, but still needs to get out there. Move up the anti-tank gun then. Move up the Jackson. Move up the men with the bazookas. Unleash everything you can on the Panther. Come on, Owen. Make the effort. You don't want to make Uncle Sam sad. Betty 2 then the Puma. And he's sending in the Jackson here blindly. Not a good idea. I mean, the Jackson is a tank destroyer, not a tank more specifically. It's an American tank destroyer, which means he's not exactly well armoured either. Shot there on the Panther. Panther getting flanked there by the anti-tank, and RPG guns going up as well. Good, good, by the way, good. Take aim now available. Jackson almost out. And there we go. Panther went down largely due to the anti-tank gun there, but still good use there. Kuban closing in veteran 2-3. Large assault there. He might want to lay down a smoke screen since he's actually researched the grenades, but actually besides a few grenades has been used. Oh, Kuban took a hell of a hit there from the anti-tank gun. And if only he used take aim, he could actually knock it out with a second shot. This does increase the range and line of sight for some reason. Owen has so far not utilised it. But he continues on here with his assault. Could maybe get the Puma there with a quick volley unless the... Very close there, but the spare parts headquarters stopped the men from going further. Very close there, though, that Vylent could have lost his Puma. His Schwerabpanzer Speerwagen. Quick salving there of fuel, good, good. Would certainly help towards any further armour here for Vylent. Right, our Lieutenant needs to get out of there. Well, what remains of the Lieutenant needs to get out of there before the orbitals are down and put them 50 feet below ground. Or 5 feet below ground, whatever. Either way, they're dead.
Batteries report barrage strikes now available in your sector. The supply line just got cut off. We're losing a capture point.
Orbital, I need to deal with the target one at a time. Now he's moving straight across. I'm going to have to deal with the anti-tank gun. Rather risky. Kumang moving in. Quick about the Ladung. Ultimately didn't do much. Still punch moving in. Kugelwagen there suppressing away. And there we go, in the end he did get the anti-tank gun with his Sturmpioniere. Bit of shooting there, Kuban continues to track them down. Closing in on veterans if already actually. Impressive, very rare to see that. And the Sturmpioneers got well blown to bits there by a grenade, so shot one Sturmpioneer unit. A bazooka there he could actually pick up. That could well work here for Vylent. All of a sudden retreating back. Puma and Kubak need to get out of there.
The capture point is being overrun.
Zurückfallen. Scheiße. Puma down. Terrible loss there for Germany. In the meanwhile, though, the American centre is a bit collapsing against the orbital dome. The moves in. Polska is pushing up the right flank. Not too bad, but at the same time he probably could have done a lot more had he just flanked them instead of just trying to breach right through them. A bit of risky manoeuvre there from Vylent. He could still suffer some casualties. He could grenade here, could actually not, but no. Instead retreating again. No real upgrades for the rifleman or even the lieutenant. Although now the pack houses veterans are free. That's definitely not bad unless you're the Germans, in which case it is bad. More fuel there salvaged. He would get another Panther. He could try to aim for the Panzer IVs. I mean, a Panzer IV force can actually do a lot of damage here versus all the infantry. I mean, that's for sure, in particular. But on the other hand, he's going to be missing the munitions for it to sort of get them upgraded with the armoured skirt, which will definitely be necessary to sort of make them more durable. In particular, protect them versus the bazookas. Certainly starting to seem like he's aiming for that Panther IV battle group. Veteran 4 Kubelwagen. More lethal. Or Elite. Ja, wir Elite. Sind wir still in a Kubelwagen? I don't know. There you go, two orbital down unit there. That's a lot of Maschinengewehr. A lot of death. And turn the Ravnier again plastered. Moving there forward with the bazookas. Misses. Come on, Jackson. Learn to hit. Very close there on Veteran 5. Rather than they're pushed away. Jackson on the way. And there we go. He can call in the Panzer IV battle group if he wants to. And there we go. 2 Panzer IVs arriving here for the 1 and 16th. You just need to upgrade them with armoured skirts, which of course means you need to trade, well, now fuel for munitions to sort of quickly get there. So you can quickly get the sufficient munitions required to get them both up with armoured skirts so they can actually survive shots from the bazookas a bit better. Kubang needs to get out of there! Scheisse! Veteran 5 though, but it might not be... Well, there we go. Wasted. 1 Panzer IV Veterans, he won, the other one not quite. Stop moving, stop moving. Remember, stop, shoot, move, stop, shoot, move. Also, make sure to support your panzers. Don't charge them in blindly. Don't charge them in blindly. Ach, scheisse. Getting off some kills there, but needs to pull back, needs to pull back. There we go, anti-tank grenade going off. Jackson arrives, Panzer 5 needs damage. Pull back the other Panzer 4. Schnell. Right here, basically Vylent. Well, didn't really think it through, I think. And just charged it madly. He did not do anything to actually improve the Panzer IVs beforehand. And again, he should have traded fuel for munitions then as swiftly as possible, then upgrade for skirts, then pushed ahead. But instead, he just charged in madly, not considering what his opponent might be getting when preparing for it, in which case his Panzer IVs became easy targets. So in that regard, he committed a bit of a blunder there, and it's already paid for with 1 Panzer IV Model J for it. A tragic loss there for Germany, which certainly cannot afford such a loss. Now he's down to 1. Jackson, though, in a bit of a surprise situation here with 1 Raketenwerfer. The Model J, by the way, the last version of the Panzer IV, a sort of, well, swift production model that really was a lot of ways cut down, so it'll make it very simple to build. Also, for example, had a bigger fuel tank, but no, well, power generator for the turret was actually hand cranked. So some things there. But in essentially a simplified model. Veteran 3 orbital damage, you definitely have some firepower there for the Reich. Panzer IV sort of taking more casually now, closing on Veteran 2, which will make it, well, more accurate and thus more lethal to infantry and armour alike. But again, he should be trading fuel for munitions to again get the armoured skirts up and maybe also get the machine gun up so he can further increase the lethality of it as well. But the armoured skirts are pretty much vital there.
Task complete. Crew ready.
Let's see if he can. Oh! Volkswagen unit wiped out. 26 kills. I mean, a pack house is very lethal once it sort of gets going. So in that regard, not a bad investment at all there by Owen. But over here, back to Vylent, whose forces are getting absolutely shattered. And again, he's rolling around with his Panzer IV artillery on support. He's not trading fuel for munitions. In fact, he continues to trade munitions for fuel. Again, he should be speeding up, so again, he can get those armoured skirts up. I mean, that really should be the decision there by any sensible Panzer commander, but so far there's no interest in that there from Vylent. In fact, he continues to operate on its own, despite the situation which has a lot of bazookas and other things which really, you know, risk making it vulnerable. And there we go, we got some howitzer shot going in on it. Panzer IV trying to get away, need to be careful. He does have Veteran 2, but that's about it. And there you go, another anti-tank rifle, again down its engine. The lack of armoured skirts are hurting. And there you go, Captain flanking up. Decent shot there, and there we go. Panzer IV main gun destroyed. And kaput. Knocked out there by the Captain. basically 2 Panzer IVs wasted. Sherman's now arriving here for Vylent. But there is nothing left really here from Vylent to sort of really resist with. His only real option might be another Puma, but I mean, even if it's a realistic option, it's not one that's actually going to do much for him, considering the current circumstances. I mean, he's barely getting any fuel anymore. He's not been able to capture any of the fuel points to sort of do anything with it. And even trading munitions, I mean, it's not really helping him a lot. And his men are getting slaughtered as well. Because, again, Vylent unit preservation also definitely has some flaws in it. Although it is a miracle, apparently, that he somehow managed to get his Kugelwagen to veteran to 5. I mean, that's definitely something out of the ordinary. And certainly a bit anomalous. The Orbital Dive, though, continue to be a good investment compared to, say, with the Lux. There's one Raketnev, and that's really the Asinine Titanium. That's not going to help with that many Shermans plus the Packhauser, though. Note, he could probably stand with actually moving up a bit closer. I mean, there's no reason for UnOwn to have the Packhauser all the way back in his space at this moment. That's just silly. At least he got some Brownings here finally for the Rifleman. And there you go, one hell of a shot there on the Orbital Darden, taking the unit, well, quite below. Battle Group Headquarters going up here. I'm not entirely sure why all of a sudden he's getting a Battle Group Headquarters. That makes no sense in, but still considering the positioning of it, that makes no sense whatsoever. I have no idea what Vylent is thinking. I have no idea what he's thinking. Meanwhile, speeding up here because, well, there's not really much happening. He's finally getting that fuel point, by the way. Orbital line advancing right into the Sherman here. Grenades going off. Packhauser and lost the entire Orbital Darden unit. I mean, that Packhauser really turned out to be absolutely lethal here. Absolutely lethal. Sherman's advancing, opening up then like MNF and other fun things. And there you go, cleared out. But again, there's not really much he can sort of bring back. As a person, he might be trying to aim for a Yak Panzer IV, but that's not really going to be able to do much, since there's not really much he's got to buy time with, which is just as vital. At this point, it's just basically a massacre. Just a simple massacre. There's not really much he can sort of bring to the field. I mean, he's bringing more Akademi, but even they are not exactly going to do a lot in the long run, not with all the infantry building out. He's, well, got no Orbital Darden anymore. He's relying on Volksgunners, which aren't really going to do much, and again, his doctrine simply can't help him. Dead. Very dead. And that's, well, there we go. Game over. A loss to Germany, victory for the United States of America. A Monday novice fight, as always, and again, on a Monday that is. And of course, we note here again, the issues were to a certain extent, unit preservation against invasion. That again was a problem on both sides, but there are also some issues there in terms of strategy and what units to get. Again, the mortar after it really didn't make much sense there for Owen. The bazookas though were a good move, and again that's because again he took advantage of the fact that Vylent was pouring all of his resources into light vehicles which could be dealt with them. He also made a poor doctrinal choice because he made, well, except for the Panther IV battle group, no use of it, and even then he only used it very late in the game, and then he used it poorly. I mean, again, consider what doctrine you're getting, and then, try to get the most out of it. You're game for the Panther IVs, you need also munitions to get them upgraded with armoured skirts, and also don't just charge them in blindly, but again, he did so, and he wasted them. Same with the Panther. I mean, he wasn't really good at supporting his armour. You need to sort of support your armour properly. or launch it properly. Again, he just sort of went for some head-on assaults. There wasn't really much flanking from him. Compare that to while Owen wasn't really doing much either. He at least did some good harassment, which was actually good, which bought him time and also slowed down his opponent's fuel. There were some good moves there from him, which actually probably helped him win the game. But overall, Owen sort of had a better understanding of armor, tactics, and strategy, in the end he won. But again, there were some issues with unit preservation and there were some odd decisions which could have cost him the game had Vylent been a bit more sensible. And again, and part of it was also basically Vylent sort of getting to here and then not moving any further. I mean, there were a lot of issues there for Vylent. So I think that rather covers it. So hopefully you learned something from this Monday Novice fight. Hopefully gotten a better understanding of the game or got some ideas to your own matches. If you did, want to subscribe, tell your friends, share with everyone. If not, send in a replay and provide some feedback in the comment section. Also, if you are a happy follower of the Propagandacast, also consider donating via PayPal. There's a link in the channel description. Every dollar helps me make more content. So consider it. Anyways, thank you all for watching and see you tomorrow.